What if the most dangerous part of your next trip isn't the turbulence, the rental car, or a missed connection? What if it's the chair? The comfortable, innocent-looking seat you'll be in for the next 4, 6, or 8 hours. Sounds crazy, right? But here's the unsettling truth. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, issued a clear warning. Any travel longer than 4 hours can double or even triple your risk of developing a dangerous blood clot. It's a silent threat called deep vein thrombosis, and it affects hundreds of thousands of travelers every year, many of whom have no idea it's happening. Imagine 2 versions of your arrival. In one, you shuffle off the plane feeling stiff, swollen, and exhausted, a vague ache in your leg that you dismiss as travel fatigue. That ache could be the start of a problem that shadows your entire vacation. Now, picture another arrival. You stand up from your seat feeling refreshed, light on your feet, your circulation humming. You step into your destination energized and ready for that first hug, that first meal, that first beautiful view. The difference between these 2 futures isn't luck, it's knowledge. It's knowing how to avoid a few simple, devastatingly common mistakes that almost everyone makes when they travel. We're going to count them down, from the ones you might suspect to the one at the very end that is so common it's practically universal. And I promise, the single most powerful way to protect yourself is something you can do right now without spending a dime. Let's start with a mistake that happens the moment you arrive. Mistake number 6, the arrival slump. You've done it. You've landed. The plane has docked at the gate, the train has glided into the station, the car is finally parked. You navigate the bustling terminal, retrieve your heavy luggage from the carousel, and finally, you push open the door to your hotel room or your family's home. What is the absolute first thing you do? It's a reflex. You drop your bags with a thud, and you collapse onto the nearest soft surface. The bed, the sofa, the plush armchair. You let out a huge sigh of relief. The journey is over. Time to rest. But here's the problem. You've just swapped one form of dangerous sitting for another. Think back to that incredible muscle pump in your legs we talked about, your second heart. For the last several hours, it's been completely switched off. Your blood flow has been lazy, your circulation sluggish. That risk doesn't just vanish the second the wheels touch the tarmac. In fact, medical experts at institutions like the Cleveland Clinic confirm that the risk period for travel-related clots can extend for days, even weeks after your trip is over. The job isn't finished just because the travel is. By collapsing onto that bed, you're telling your body, stay in shutdown mode. The stillness continues. You're letting that stagnant pond in your lower legs remain a pond. We need to turn it back into a flowing river, immediately. So, before you check your phone for messages, before you start unpacking, before you even think about a nap, you have to perform a critical reboot for your circulatory system. You need to send an undeniable signal from your brain to your toes that the period of stillness is officially over. A simple 5-minute walk does exactly that. It doesn't have to be strenuous. A few laps up and down the hotel corridor. A slow walk around the rental car in the lot while you get your bearings. A single loop around the block where you're staying. This small act sends a powerful surge of freshly oxygenated blood through your entire body and tells your veins, okay, we're back in business. Let's get things moving. Create a new, non-negotiable arrival ritual for yourself. The rule is this. Suitcases do not get unzipped until you have taken at least 200 walking steps at your destination. Link the reward, unpacking and relaxing, to the action of rebooting your circulation. Mistake number 5, the power through mindset. We are, by nature, considerate people, especially when we're packed into a tight space with strangers. We're conditioned to be polite. Don't jiggle your leg and bother the person next to you. Don't take up too much armrest space. Don't make a fuss by getting up and down too often. So we adopt what I call the power through mindset. We plant ourselves firmly in our seat, put on our noise-canceling headphones, pull up a blanket, and try to make ourselves as small and as still as humanly possible for the next 6 hours. We try to disappear, to become part of the furniture. For your veins, this quiet, polite stillness is the absolute worst thing you can do. Stillness is the enemy. It is the engraved invitation for that lazy, stagnant pond to form in your lower legs. Your body is a magnificent machine designed for constant, subtle movement. It craves it. When you force it into a state of perfect, rigid stillness for hours on end, alarm bells are going off deep inside your circulatory system. You absolutely must interrupt that stillness. Think of it like a sentry on duty. You need to check in with your lower body every hour or so and send a clear signal. Hey, wake up down there. Let's get things moving. The beautiful part is, this doesn't mean you have to be that person who is constantly climbing over their seatmates to pace the aisle. The most powerful, effective movements are completely silent and invisible to your neighbors. You can do them right in your seat without bothering a single soul. Believing you can just wait and walk it off when you land is a dangerous gamble. The risk is accumulating quietly, minute by minute, while you sit perfectly still. We must be proactive, not reactive. The damage from stillness is cumulative, so the solution must be consistent. Try. Use an external, unavoidable cue. Make a deal with yourself. Every single time the pilot makes an announcement, or every time a flight attendant walks past my row with the cart, I will do 10 ankle pumps. This links your safety habit to an event that will happen multiple times, making it nearly impossible to forget. Mistake number 4, the carry-on roadblock. Okay, take a moment and picture yourself in your travel seat. Plane, train, doesn't matter. Now look down at your feet. Where is your purse, your backpack, your carry-on bag? I'll bet good money it's wedged tightly under the seat in front of you. Of course it is. We all do it. It's convenient. It feels secure. In reality, you've just made a monumental error. You've built a wall, a physical barrier. That wall boxes in your feet and ankles. It robs you of your single most valuable piece of real estate on any trip, your leg room. With that bag jammed in there, you cannot fully extend your legs. You cannot point and flex your feet properly. You can't do the simple ankle circles that are essential for keeping your blood moving. You've effectively put your lower legs in a self-imposed cage for the entire duration of your trip. That tiny bit of space is not empty space. It is your personal in-seat gymnasium. It is your safety zone. It's the dedicated area where you can perform the crucial, tiny movements that keep your second heart, your calf muscles, beating. By filling that space with your luggage, you have completely disabled your own ability to protect yourself. You've paid for that space. You must use it for your health, not for storage. The solution is immediate, simple, and non-negotiable. That bag, no matter how small you think it is, goes in the overhead bin. But I need my book, my water, my headphones, my medications. I hear you. Of course you do. The strategy is simple. Before you stand up to put the main bag in the overhead compartment, take out the 3 or 4 small items you will absolutely need during the flight. Tuck them into the seat back pocket in front of you. Everything else goes up. Your feet need to be free. Their freedom is your safety. Try. From this moment forward, adopt a new, unbreakable travel rule for yourself. The floor is for feet only. Nothing else lives there. Make this as automatic and instinctual as putting on your seatbelt when you sit down. The moment you stow your bag overhead, you've won your first major victory against travel-related risks. Mistake number 3. Your comfortable clothes are cuffs. You've meticulously picked out your go-to travel outfit. Soft knit pants, a favorite cozy sweater, comfortable shoes. You chose them specifically for comfort on a long journey. But let's ask a more pointed question. Are they truly comfortable for your circulatory system? Let's get very specific here. Think about that pair of jeans, or even those soft sweatpants that have a waistband that digs in just a little too snugly when you sit down for a long time. Or what about those socks? You know the ones, with a tight elastic band at the top that leaves a deep red indentation on your calf when you finally peel them off at the end of the day. We've all seen that mark and thought nothing of it. That mark is a warning sign. Those tight spots, at the waist, the ankles, even under the arms of a tight shirt, act like kinks in a garden hose. They create pinch points, little dams along the superhighways of your veins. Blood that should be flowing freely and easily back to your heart gets slowed down, backing up and starting to pool behind these artificial blockades. You have inadvertently created a series of traffic jams with your own clothing. This applies everywhere. Underwear with tight elastic around the legs. A belt cinched just one notch too tight. Even a watch or bracelet worn too snugly on your wrist can impede flow. The problem is how subtle it is. An item might not feel uncomfortably tight when you're standing up and getting dressed, but after 2 or 3 hours of sitting, as your body naturally swells just a tiny bit from fluid retention, that gentle pressure becomes a significant roadblock for your blood. Your shoes are especially critical. If they're too tight, they prevent your feet and ankles from articulating through their full range of motion, effectively shutting down the very muscles we need to keep active. This isn't about fashion or looking sloppy. It's about giving your blood the freedom to move as your body's brilliant design intended. Try. The next time you pack for a trip, perform a dress rehearsal. Put on your entire planned travel outfit from your socks and underwear to your shoes and sweater. Then sit in a firm chair for 10 full minutes. Don't fidget, just sit. At the end of 10 minutes, stand up and pay close attention. Do you feel a pinch anywhere? Is your waistband digging in? Are your ankles constricted? If you feel even a hint of constriction, that item does not make the travel team. It gets swapped for something looser. Mistake number 2, the dehydration deception. The drink cart is slowly making its way down the aisle. The flight attendant smiles and asks what you'd like. And a very logical thought pops into your head. I should probably skip the water. I don't want to have to get up and squeeze past everyone to use that tiny bathroom every hour. It seems like a clever, convenient travel strategy. In reality, it is one of the most dangerous miscalculations you can make on a long trip. When your body senses it's low on water, it goes into a protective survival mode. It begins to pull water out of your bloodstream to keep your essential organs like your brain and heart properly hydrated. This has a direct physical consequence. It makes your blood thicker and more concentrated. Let's use a simple kitchen analogy. Imagine you're making a soup stock. It starts out thin and watery, but as you let it simmer on the stove, the water evaporates and the stock reduces. It gets thicker, richer, and moves much more slowly when you stir it. Your blood does the exact same thing when you're dehydrated. Thicker blood is slower blood, and slower blood creates the perfect stagnant, swampy environment for clotting factors to find each other and start clumping together. This process is called increasing blood viscosity. Think of it as turning a freely flowing river into slow-moving sledge. And the villains here are sneaky. That pre-flight coffee? That relaxing glass of wine or beer you have to start the vacation? They are diuretics, a scientific term for substances that trick your body into flushing out more water than it should. They actively accelerate the dehydration process, all while you think you're taking in fluids. On top of that, the incredibly dry, recycled air in a plane cabin is constantly wicking moisture from your body through your breath and skin without you even noticing. Studies in aerospace medicine and human performance have confirmed that cabin air with humidity levels often below 12% can significantly increase fluid loss. The solution isn't to chug a huge liter of water right before you board. That just makes you feel bloated and guarantees a trip to the bathroom. The key, recommended by vascular specialists, is consistent small sips of plain water all trip long. It's about keeping the river topped up, not flooding it. Try. Get a reusable water bottle that you genuinely enjoy using. Make it your official non-negotiable travel companion. The act of filling it up at a water fountain after you clear security should become the first official step of every single trip's safety checklist. Mistake number 1, misusing aspirin or ignoring meds. This is the big one, and it's surrounded by a universe of confusion and well-meaning but misguided advice. Many savvy travelers think, I'll be proactive. I'll take a low-dose aspirin before my flight to thin my blood and prevent clots. On the surface, it sounds incredibly smart, but it's based on a fundamental misunderstanding of how clots work. Here's why. There are 2 main types of blood clots, and they form in 2 very different environments. Think of your circulatory system like a city's plumbing. Your arteries are the high-pressure main lines carrying freshly oxygenated blood from the pumping station, your heart, out to the city. Your veins are the lower-pressure return pipes bringing used blood back. Aspirin is excellent at preventing clots in the high-pressure, fast-flowing arteries. These are the types of clots that can lead to heart attacks and certain kinds of strokes. But the clots we are worried about from sitting, the DVTs, form in the slow, lazy, low-pressure veins of your legs. It's a completely different mechanism, like the difference between a high-pressure pipe bursting versus a low-pressure pipe getting clogged with slow-moving sludge and debris. Aspirin, as confirmed by numerous medical bodies, including the American Society of Hematology, is not recommended for preventing this kind of sludge clot in travelers. Taking it without a doctor's explicit recommendation for your specific health profile can expose you to unnecessary risks, like stomach irritation or bleeding, for little to no benefit against this particular travel threat. Don't play pharmacist at 30,000 feet. The other side of this coin is just as critical: your prescribed medications. If you take a daily pill for your heart, blood pressure, diabetes, or anything else, a long trip can throw your entire schedule into chaos. Crossing time zones messes with your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm. Is your morning pill supposed to be taken at your home's morning time or your destination's morning time? Is your bedtime pill timed with the sun or the clock? Getting it wrong, even by a few hours, can have real consequences for your health. This is a crucial conversation to have with your doctor or pharmacist before you travel. They can give you a simple, clear plan to adjust your schedule safely. Try. Find your passport or your travel folder right now. Get a sticky note and write on it, "Ask doc/pharmacist about med timing for my trip." Stick it right on the front. It's a simple, unmissable reminder for a conversation that is critically important for your well-being. The 3-minute leg wake-up routine. All right, enough about the mistakes. Let's throw them out and build the powerful, positive solution. This is what you do. This is how you take complete control. This is not a workout. I repeat, not a workout. You won't get tired, you won't break a sweat, and you won't need special clothes or shoes. It is a simple, silent 3-minute routine that you can do once an hour, right in your seat, to force your second heart to turn back on and get your blood flowing like a swift, healthy river. You can do this on a plane, in a car's passenger seat, on a train, anywhere you are sitting for a prolonged period. And I can absolutely guarantee you the person sitting inches away from you will have no idea you are even doing it. It is your secret weapon against the danger of stillness. Think of it as a quick internal systems check. Just a few minutes once every hour. That's all it takes to completely change the game and slash your risk. Let's walk through it together, step by step. First, the all-important safety check. These movements are designed to be gentle and low impact, but your body is always the boss. You must listen to it. Stop immediately if you feel any sharp, shooting, or unusual pain. And if you happen to have any pre-existing heart conditions, balance issues, or significant joint problems, especially in your hips, knees, or ankles, please have a quick chat with your clinician before you try any new exercises. Ready? Let's begin. Make sure your feet are free from any bags and can move without obstruction. Move 1 is the ankle pump. This is the undisputed champion, the single most important exercise you can do while seated. It directly activates the powerful muscles deep in your calf. With your heel resting gently on the floor, pull your toes and the front of your foot up towards your shin as high as you comfortably can. You should feel a nice gentle pull in your shin muscle and a stretch in your Achilles tendon. Hold it for a count of 2. Now, slowly point your toes down and away from you as far as you can, as if you're pressing a gas pedal all the way to the floor. Really feel that calf muscle squeeze and engage. That feeling is the pump activating. That is the feeling of safety. Go back and forth at a steady, rhythmic pace. Toes up, hold. Toes down, hold. Let's do this 20 times for each foot. Move 2 is the heel toe press. This is a variation that works both sides of your lower leg. Place both of your feet flat on the floor in front of you. First, keeping your toes on the floor, lift both your heels up as high as you can. You'll feel your calf muscles contract. Then, bring your heels back down to the floor and immediately lift the toes of both feet up high, keeping your heels firmly planted. Rock back and forth smoothly between these two positions. Heels up, then toes up. Repeat this fluid motion 20 times. This is fantastic for waking up the entire base of your leg and foot. Move 3 is the seated march. This one is beautifully simple and engages the big thigh muscles. Sit up straight, not slouching. Gently lift your right foot just an inch or 2 off the floor. Then place it down silently and immediately lift your left foot an inch or 2 off the floor. That's the entire movement. It's like you're marching in place, but in super slow motion and with incredibly small, controlled movements. You are not trying to lift your knees high up to your chest. The goal is simply to engage the quadriceps, the big muscles on the front of your thighs. March like this for about 30 seconds. Move 4 is the ankle circle. This is wonderful for the health of your ankle joint itself. Lift one foot just slightly off the floor so it can move freely. Now, pretend there's a pen attached to your big toe and draw slow, deliberate circles in the air. Make these circles as large and as smooth as you comfortably can. Do 10 circles in a clockwise direction, then pause and reverse, doing 10 circles in a counterclockwise direction. Then switch to the other foot and repeat the sequence. This movement lubricates the joint and encourages blood flow in all the small surrounding vessels. Try. Stack the habits. Create a super block for yourself. Once an hour, on the hour, do 10 ankle pumps on each leg, 10 heel toe presses, a 30-second seated march, and 5 ankle circles in each direction on each foot. The entire routine takes less than 3 minutes and gives you an hour's worth of protection. Travel smarter, arrive safer. So let's picture your next trip again. It looks completely different now, doesn't it? It looks safer. It looks smarter. And the best part is, it is all completely and totally within your control. Your new pre-travel checklist is simple and powerful. You will prioritize hydration with plain water, sipping consistently. You will perform a dress rehearsal to ensure your clothes and shoes are loose and non-constricting. And you will fiercely protect that priceless open space for your feet, putting your bags in the overhead bin where they belong. And then, once an hour, like clockwork, you will perform your quiet, invisible, personal safety routine. A few minutes of ankle pumps, some heel-toe presses, a little seated march, and some ankle circles. You are actively commanding your second heart to do its job. You are telling your body that you are in charge. This isn't about being afraid to travel, it's the exact opposite. This is about being so thoroughly empowered and prepared that you can lean your head back and relax completely, free from worry, knowing you have taken every simple step to protect your health. It's about arriving at your destination feeling fantastic, vibrant, and ready to embrace every single moment. You've earned this trip. You deserve for it to be wonderful. Have a fantastic and safe journey. Try. Pick just one of these tips, the one that resonated with you the most, and share it with your spouse, your friend, or whoever you are traveling with next. Explaining it to someone else is the most powerful way to lock the knowledge in for yourself, and you'll be keeping them safe too. Are you currently taking specific types of medications, such as certain hormone therapies, that are known to increase clotting risk? These are not meant to alarm you, but rather to serve as crucial flags. They are compelling reasons to be a little extra diligent with your water intake, a little more committed to your in-seat exercises, and perhaps consider additional precautions. The American Society of Hematology consistently emphasizes the importance of personalized risk assessment for venous thromboembolism, especially in travel. Most importantly, it means you should have a quick, proactive, and candid chat with your doctor or a qualified clinician well before any long trip. Don't wait until you're already in the airport. Just say something simple like, "Doctor, I have a long flight/car trip coming up, and I know I have," mention your specific factor. Example, a family history of clots. "I'm on this medication. I had surgery 6 weeks ago. Is there anything special I should do or be aware of? Are there any medical devices or medications, like a blood thinner, that might be appropriate for my specific situation?" Knowing your own personal risk profile inside and out is the single smartest, highest leverage thing you can do to ensure you travel safely, comfortably, and with absolute peace of mind. It's your ultimate layer of personalized protection. Try. Before your next significant trip, jot down 1 or 2 specific questions about travel health, considering your own unique history. Then bring these questions to your doctor at your next regular checkup. Small moves, monumental difference. Arrive ready for life. Look, this isn't about transforming you into a health expert or forcing you into some complicated, burdensome routine every time you travel. It's the exact opposite, actually. It's about realizing the incredible, often underestimated power of small, deliberate, smart choices that you can weave effortlessly into your journey. It's about making a conscious choice for water instead of that tempting free glass of wine or coffee. It's about valuing your precious foot space more than the fleeting convenience of a bulky bag at your feet. It's about performing a few quiet, almost invisible ankle circles while you're deeply engrossed in a movie or listening to your favorite podcast. These tiny moves, these seemingly insignificant decisions, add up to something monumental. They create a protective shield around your circulatory system. They actively prevent your blood from getting lazy and stagnant, from becoming that thick, honey-like substance we talked about. They ensure your body's internal rivers keep flowing smoothly, effortlessly, and efficiently, just as they were designed to do. This consistent, low-effort engagement of your muscle pumps maintains optimal blood flow, reducing the risk of discomfort and more serious issues, a principle backed by countless studies on circulatory health. Travel should be about the thrill of the destination, the joy of discovery, the warmth of connection, not about agonizing over how your legs are going to feel or worrying about potential health risks. A little bit of mindful movement, a touch of conscious hydration, and a keen awareness of your body's needs ensure you arrive feeling not just relieved that the journey is over, but genuinely refreshed, vibrant, and utterly ready for the adventure you came for. You hold complete control over this. This isn't just about feeling better, it's about living fuller, longer, and with more joy. Try, for your very next car ride, even if it's just a quick hour-long trip, pick just one of these tips, like doing heel-toe presses every time you stop at a red light, and truly notice how different, how much more alive your legs feel at the end.